judgment, 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 final judgment, final judgment, final
What's up, everybody? Tony Jigsaw Cotillo here, and for the first time, talking a little Sixers post game. We're going to be doing all kinds of post games here, like I told you guys, not just for Philadelphia sports, for sports all around the world. Okay, in every single aspect. Make sure you're following the Final Judgment right here on YouTube. Make sure you're hitting the subscription button. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you're hitting the notification bell. So every time we go live here, you're going to know what we're talking about and when we're talking about it, and get involved. The biggest thing we could do right now is get involved. I tell everybody that we had a tremendous following for all the post games when it came to the Philadelphia Phillies in the World Series. We will be doing post games for the Eagles. We'll be doing post games here for the Sixers. We will do doing random topics. Last night had the infamous Coach Joe. Okay, Coach Joe was on this program. You listen. Ambassador of basketball for the Delaware Blue Coach Joe Richmond. If you haven't seen it, you have to see it. It's been phenomenal. Okay. Phenomenal interview. The dude's got so much energy. And again, it's infectious. It really is. So check that out as well on a team. But this is like, I feel like we go through this all the time. And it's funny. I asked Joe last night specifically about this. Obviously, we were doing opening night talking about the Blue Coats, Capital City, right? But, tonight, you're looking at a 76ers team again, lethargic. I'm sorry. Like, I get how we buy in to the entire narrative of the regular season doesn't mean anything, right? I get that. The NBA has been like that for an awfully long time. A very, very long time. The NBA has continued to be, there is no regular season. It's all about the postseason. And I get it. Okay, I get it. But at the end of the day, you have some type of duty to actually look like you care a little bit. And when you break down these box scores, when you see the eye test, you hear me say this all the time. You watch the eye test, and I'm telling you right now, I don't care what anybody says, something's not right on that team. Something's not right. I don't care. We went through an entire offseason with all these changes on this team. We're talking about bench changes, right? Completely revived the entire bench. Doc doesn't even want to use it. Doc doesn't want to use it again. Like, you cannot, and I heard this on the post game, and I was already written down for me to talk about because I was feeling the same way. Where is the consistency? Where is the consistent minutes for the bench? Where is the consistency in the rotations? Don't give me this ridiculous narrative about how, let's get it to 10 with 4. Come on, Doc. Come on, Doc, please. Like, we've been down this road before. And the thing is, we wouldn't care. I'm going to give you a hint. We wouldn't care about the regular season if you actually did something different in the regular season. How's that? Do something different. And that's my whole issue. Do something different. Because again, are you kidding me? Clint Capella has 20 rebounds. Clint Capella. We're talking about the same guy here. Clint Capella has 20 rebounds tonight. You got to be kidding me. I didn't even watch the entire game. I'm telling you that right now. I watched about 80% of it. And Clint Capella looked like Shaquille O'Neal. Why? Explain it to me. Why? I can't consume it anymore. I just can't. I think I kind of need to just not watch. Right? I think I've come to that point to understand that I cannot watch these games sometimes because they make me absolutely drive me bonkers. Okay. Montrezl Harrell gets 3 minutes. 3 minutes. That is absolutely asinine. It's asinine. Okay. I don't care if you tell me you're preserving something. I don't care. And let me just say, like, I'm going off a little bit here. There's no script. This is fully unscripted. I had no plans to grab a microphone tonight and talk anything at all. Honestly, I was going to just cut up some video, throw some interview highlights up there for the weekend, and call it a day and get ready for a post game on Monday night, talking Philadelphia Eagles. Get ready for a hot stove talk, okay, with the Philadelphia Phillies, okay, because we got that coming up next week too. But then I got to watch this ridiculous garbage again. Garbage. This is what I call it. I call it garbage. My man Joe checking in says, if I want to see a slow-moving team stand around with limited ball movement, I watch the guys the why. It's a perfect comment, right? Joe, awesome friend of the show. All avid follower. You got to give him a follow. Just trust me. Just trust me. You follow Joe anywhere he's at, okay? He got a lot of good things to say, and he doesn't hold back. And he's true. Again, where's all this spacing on the floor we were supposed to see? Where's all this ball movement we were supposed to see? And you know what? No, Joe's going to agree with me on this. And a lot of people I want to check in as well. The whole notion and narrative, again, the regular season doesn't mean anything. We're just going to flip the switch. Can I ask somebody something about that switch? When you're able to flip the switch, doesn't that switch mean that it's gold? And what I mean by that is, doesn't that switch mean that it's a championship switch? And what I mean again is you've actually won something to be able to flip that switch, right? If the Milwaukee Bucks decide they want to flip a switch, guess what? They goddamn earned it, right? I could say, you know what? We're good. We're good. We won a chip already. We know. They know when to flip that switch in a high gear. What do the Sixers know? We lose in the second round. Right? We have more defeats. We have more negative defeats than positive wins in the playoffs. Okay? We all understand that. So this narrative of flipping a switch whenever we damn well please is ridiculous. It is. It's ridiculous. Look at the standings right now. Milwaukee's 10-1. I guess maybe they're playing in the regular season. They're playing without Chris Middleton. They're playing, but man, they really suck, huh? 10-1. Utah, 10-3. I guess they forgot this is the regular season too, right? They don't care. I'm so tired of everybody telling me the same damn thing about the regular season doesn't mean anything. Okay? I'm so tired of it. Because guess what? Until you win a championship, until you're Golden State, okay? Until you win a championship, you have no credibility to be able to flip a friggin' switch. You don't. Sorry. Not my book. Maybe I'm wrong, but not my book. Joe says that switch has proven to be broken during the second round. Exactly. Joe, how can we sit here and just say again about flipping the damn switch? Okay, you went out there. This makes me friggin' crazy. Okay, because you know what? This is what makes me crazy. Because I'm gonna have to sit there, and Joe, you know this. We're gonna sit there, and if you do turn on sports radio, which I do from time to time, if you turn it on, you're gonna hear the same thing. People, relax. It's 7 games. It's 8 games. It's 10 games. Did somebody tell Milwaukee it's only 10 games? I'm just wondering. Like, because they seem like they're actually playing on another level, right? I'll call it a championship caliber level. They're not pouting at the referees. We don't have the coach sitting up there talking about how, we're talking about, well, if we get it within 10 with 4 minutes left. And like, come on, man. You were 6 for 30 from 3-point land. 6 for 30. Are you kidding me? Like, again, how are we supposed to have any confidence whatsoever? Hey, Tobias, thanks for showing up again with your 12 points in 33 minutes. Okay? But you know what everybody's going to do? Listen, I am so tired. I'm sorry. I am so tired of hearing about Tobias Harris. Okay? And I'm so tired of he may be a great guy and all, but we're not talking about, him off the court. We're talking about him on the court. Okay? And when you're playing 33 minutes, and you muster up 12 points, you're getting paid $40 million, okay, guess what? 35, 36, does it really matter, 35 or 40? Either way, it's highway robbery, okay? What are you giving me? Okay? I am telling you right now, this is not going to have a good ending. It's not going to have a good ending. I hope everybody realizes that. I hope everybody buckles up. I hope they all buckle up. Because it's not going to be a good ending here for the Philadelphia 76ers. And, if you're checking in, my man Roddy checking in, Greg checking in. What up, Greg? How about them Warriors, right? I mean, Greg knows, right? Coach Dante. What's up, Coach Dante? What up, man? Listen, honestly, if you're a Sixers fan, if you have another team and you're checking in, bring it all in because I want to know, again, why other teams aren't just going through the motions, right? Why aren't other teams just going through the motions? Because guess what? They're learning how to play together. And we still, again, look at the roster. Okay? You mean to tell me I have to sit up there and I have to listen to another Doc Rivers press conference and tell me that the players have to learn how to play together? Okay, let me ask everybody something. Let's look at this roster. George Niang played last year. Shake Milton played last year. Matisse Thybulle played last year. Furkan Korkmaz played last year. Paul Reed even had a cup of coffee last year. Tobias Harris played last year. Joel Embiid played last year. Tyrese Maxey played last year. So you're telling me, right, that we have to change an entire offensive system and gel together because of PJ Tucker, DeAnthony Melton, Daniel House, and Montrezl Harrell, I'm sorry. Whenever Doc decides he wants to play him in a rotation. So because of that, we have to gel. That is so ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. It is. It is absolutely ridiculous. Greg says, I haven't been following basketball. Are they doing bad too? Yes. Yes, Greg, it's ridiculous. And again, people say, oh, it's early, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You get that feeling. Coach Dante says, yo, Coach, let me ask you, and no disrespect to your boy Clint, okay, but he should not be getting 20 boards against us. Like, okay, hey, Clint, do your 12 and 10, your 12 and 13, right? I'm okay with that. But 20 boards for Clint friggin' Capella? Like, seriously, look, Coach Dante didn't even know. He looked at the box score and said, holy shit, Clint Capella got 20 boards, right? This is what I'm talking about. We're getting the Houston side of this. They're coming in and they're wondering the same damn thing. I am not saying that Atlanta should have lost or they should have won. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I'm talking about a lifeless loss, another lifeless loss that we have to deal with again. What happened to Warriors? So sorry. I know you're talking about the Sixers. Listen, I don't know what happened to Warriors. Okay, Greg, but that's not what my point is with the Golden State Warriors. Is Golden State Warriors have the credibility to go out there and be able to just flip a switch if they want to, right? Because they have that championship pedigree. We don't have a championship pedigree. We lose in the second round every friggin' year. So we don't have the credibility to go in there and just say, hey, by the way, let's flip a switch today. And we're going to play like the real Sixers. Come on, man. You're kidding yourself. It's never going to happen. Never going to happen. Joe says, team has an unproven attitude from the head coach, living off of one season. Their infamous Boston Celtics season from Doc Rivers. He says Rivers, Brand, and Morey can all take a ride on this sinking duck. Joe wants them to go on the duck boats. Okay? And we know what happens when you go on the duck boats. You usually sink and get hit by a friggin', what do they call it? One of those ocean liners, one of those barges, right? I mean, that's what happens. Coach Dante says, and here you go. This is what's awesome. This is why. So again, everybody tuning in because we're starting to get an influx of people, okay, which is great. And this is what I like about it. Just so everybody knows, yes, you see everything behind me. If you don't notice, I'm wearing a Mitchell and Ness shirt. I'm wearing a Art History 101 brand hat, okay, straight from Philadelphia. Okay, I am a Philadelphia guy through and through. I bleed Philly. But I also am I'm a very critical podcaster, streamer, talk show host, whatever the hell you want to call me. Doesn't matter. Nickname Jigsaw, obviously. Okay, but on any team, at any level. And I love bringing the different side to this show. Okay, and Coach Dante, okay, because this is what we did with the post games for the Phillies. We actually brought the Houston side into this, which I think it was great. Listen, everybody belongs. We're all sports fans, man. We all belong. Let's bring it all. Because here you go. Coach Dante says, nope. He's talking about Clint. Nope, you're not lying. Now he can get you 11 points and average 13 boards. Exactly what I said, because he did that for multiple seasons with us. And Clint Capella, he doesn't even be in shape. It's ridiculous. These people are shocked. They're shocked, right? He says, but he should not be getting 20 boards. He's too small inside to be getting that many rebounds, and he's not even in shape. He can't even stay on the court. This is coming from Coach Dante. He's a diehard Houston Rockets fan, right? Again, this is why I like this show. Okay, this is the final judgment. Okay, hit the subscription button. It's your first time. Hit the subscription button. Hit the notification bell. Hit the like button. We talk everything. We go back and forth. I don't blast anybody out of here because you're a fan from another sport or another team for that matter. I take them all. We're all in this together, and I love the viewpoints from the other side. And here you go right here from a Houston Rockets fan saying he knows he's too small to be doing that, and we let him do it. It's crazy. Javon, my man, checking in, says they could lose the next 3 games against the Hawks, Jazz, and Bucks. It's ridiculous. The Hawks, the Jazz, and the Bucks. The Jazz, listen, they're 10-3. They're 10-3. The Bucks are 10-1. Did somebody tell Utah that it was early in the season? Is Utah decide they're just not going to play? No, they're playing a friggin' basketball game. It's ridiculous. Greg says, he says, hey, the Phillies and the Eagles have a lot to be proud of. Don't get greedy, Philadelphia. Greg plays, man. I love it, man. I love it. He says you got to have one bad team. And you know what, Greg? Here's a funny thing. They're not even that bad, or they shouldn't be that bad. But God damn, they play with such a lackadaisical energy. I've never seen it before. It's ridiculous, and it continues every single year. It continues. Javon says, I can't watch this team because of Doc. Me neither. And then I got reminded of Charles Bassey, and this is what kills us. Again, right? Again. Charles Bassey goes to the Spurs and comes off the bench, drops 10 and 4 in 16 minutes, and again, we couldn't use him here. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Coach Dante says, Utah, they got some guys on that team, and they can play. It's not going to be an easy game for Philadelphia. Oh, yeah, Markkanen, absolutely having his best season. Mike Conley is a veteran. I'll tell you what, man, everybody sleeps on Mike Conley. Everybody sleeps on Mike Conley. And again, Mike Conley's not going to be a starter for, in this league. He's a good 6-man. Okay, he could spot start. Mike Conley can get it, man. Coach says Jared Vanderbilt is a defensive menace. That Utah team is pretty solid. THT, man, coming off the bench. That's a young, scrappy team. Listen, they did a lot of nice moves there. Obviously, they lose Spider, which we all knew that was going to happen. That was inevitable. They trade Rudy Gobert, and they kind of rebuilt that entire team. Right. And it's nice to see. It's nice to see in the world of the NBA where you can take two guys that, that are max level tier players and that you can rebuild your team. Okay. Whether it be through drafting or trades or veteran minimum deals, whatever it is, and be competitive. And you're seeing that right there with the Utah Jazz. He says Kelly Olynyk is pretty good for Utah. They got a pretty good team. I will tell you this, Coach Dante. Coach, I'm telling you, man, I can't stand Kelly Olynyk. No disrespect to his game, but man, I'm telling you what, my man's weak. I'm sorry. Like, he's one of them dudes that you see the stats, you're like, wow, Olynyk, he must be a player. And then you watch him play, you're like, what was that shot, right? But nah, no disrespect. But Greg says, how the Celtics doing? Listen, the Celtics, again, they face a lot of adversity, right? With the head coach, with Udoka. We know all about that. Still 8-3. Still 8-3. Again, I guess they forgot. People forgot to tell them that the season didn't start, right? Because that's what I keep hearing. Season didn't start yet. Hearing it from everybody. But unfortunately, we're the only team that's playing like that. My man Rich checking in says, this team is consistent. All games count. Sorry, JoJo. Doc has to go. Been saying this since last season. I agree. Listen, I agree. And again, if you're checking in, I'm curious too. If you're checking in from another sports city, if you follow the NBA, what do you think Philadelphia should do? Do you think Doc Rivers should be gone? Do you think the veteran leadership is falling on deaf ears now? Do you think he will never succeed? I'm honest to God, I don't see it happening. Doc will not win here. It's done. Doc will not win here. And I keep saying this, over and over and over again. Please do not let Sam Cassell walk out of here. Do not let Sam Cassell leave. Okay? Because we already did this. Remember, Philadelphia, we did this with Monty Williams. Okay? Whether you're a Monty Williams guy or not, we did it. We let him go. And he was out there with the Suns balling out. Okay? Again, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Rich says, Utah rebuilt that team. Doc said they're still trying to figure out the team. Like, what the hell did you do in the preseason? This is what's killing me, Rich. We're still trying to figure out the friggin' team. Like, how? Why? What are you still trying to figure out? You added 4 bench pieces. You added 4 friggin' bench pieces. And you're telling me you still need to find a way to gel. Are you kidding me? It's such a joke anymore. I can't take it. It makes me not want to watch basketball. Honestly, it does. It kills me. It absolutely kills me. Javon says Doc should have been gone after they blew the 3-1 lead to the Hawks a couple years ago. I completely agree. You should have saw it right there. Right there. Because again, Javon, like you know and I know, where are we at? The same damn place. We're at the same damn place. Same place. Not the best team in the East. Probably not even a top 3 team in the East. Okay, still battling. Will we get a 4 seed? Will we get a home playoff series? Doesn't even friggin' matter because we lose in the second round. Coach Dante says, I think Rivers should be gone. He's one of the most overrated coaches in the NBA. And that championship he won in Boston, a lot of his own players didn't even give them credit for that. Dude, I'm telling you right now, okay? I got to give you applause because that's honestly, that's what we've been talking about here. That's what we've been talking about here in Philadelphia, man. 100%. Javon says Doc couldn't even get the job done with the Clippers, and they look better with Ty Lue, who played the young guys. Again, Javon knows that the MO of Doc Rivers, not playing the young guys. Coach Dante says Paul Pierce credit Tom Thibodeau. Yes, he credited Tibbs for that championship because he was the defensive coordinator pretty much for that Boston Celtics team when they won a championship. It's a great point. That's a great point. Coach Dante, hitting it up again, man. Hitting it up again. I got to find something here for everybody. Just make sure I have it on point. But, again, Well, I mean, there you go. I got to give Coach Dante the boxing bell there because it's true. Okay, you have Paul Pierce, who was a fixture on that team. Okay, don't even give Doc credit. Gives Tibbs the credit. My man Tank checking in. Fire Rivers, hire Cassell. Right there. Look, Tank's gonna get the boxing bell right there. Okay, Tank's getting the boxing bell because Tank knows. Tank knows that what's going to happen. See, he knows because we've seen this play out all the time. He knows that we're going to get these false expectations again, right? Maybe we actually do get past the second round. Okay, and again, we're going to lose, and then somebody's going to scoop up Sam Cassell. That we're going to be stuck with some stiff after Doc Rivers goes, and we're going to be like sitting there scratching our head like we did with Monty Williams over there in Phoenix and said, why the hell did we let this guy go? Why did we let this guy go? It sucks, man. We are in such a spot here. Such a spot. My man Greg says, I usually don't follow basketball until the end of the season. I'm a huge baseball fan, but unless the Warriors are there, I'm not interested. And you know what? Dub City, I feel you, Greg. You are lucky if you are a Warriors fan because they do not let you down. Coach says, I don't like that narrative trying to find a way to gel. You have a whole training camp to do that, to find a way to gel, to find chemistry and all of that. I hate it. I can't stand it. You know, Coach Dante, it's a cop-out. It's 100% a freaking cop-out because, you know, we asked this question. Okay, we all ask this question, and again, I'm going to say this to Javon, all my Philly guys. Okay, all my Philly guys, Al checking in now, Rich, everybody checking in from Philly. And the only reason I say from Philly because we know the MO. Okay, all I got to hear is Doc Rivers likes to golf, right? Doc Rivers likes to golf, and obviously Doc Rivers likes to like a lot of porn after 1 a.m. because he's on that porn hub all night long supposedly, but it's not him. I don't know. But in all seriousness, no, seriously, you know, when you look at this, where was Doc Rivers all offseason? Where was he? All these changes that we did on the bench, right? With the contract to James Harden, okay? All the changes that we made, okay? Deciding to move on from guys like Charles Bassey and Isaiah Joe, okay? Homegrown guys. We decided we're going to move on from them and bring in the cavalry of Daryl Morey, okay, and Daniel House, right? You know, PJ Tucker. We already knew what we were doing, okay? But where was he? Where was he? He was nowhere to be found. Never, not a peep from Doc Rivers. Not a friggin' peep. Nothing. Until that whole porn incident happened and he had to come out and give a statement. We hear anything about the team? Nothing. There was nothing going on. Zero. And that's concerning to me. It's almost like I said, I think Doc checked out. Javon says 2 out of those 4 added bench pieces. House and Harrell ain't that great. Could have kept Joe and Bassey. I agree, man. Like literally, I was cool when they got Daniel House because I just thought it was a piece, right? I thought it was a piece, but I wasn't expecting them to get rid of Isaiah Joe and Charles Bassey. Why? Like, again, man, this is what I don't understand. Why would we not want to groom these young guys? It's so frustrating, man. Rich says, well, Doc already said he's on the same level as Popovich. You can't tell or ask him anything. Isn't that a joke that, Doc thinks he's on the same level as Pop? Like, seriously. Because he won that chip, man. It went to his head. I'm telling you. Tank says Phillies went to World Series after firing their coach. Absolutely. It's a great point, right? Everybody thought, no, you can. And I say, you know what? Tank knows this because Tank follows me. And obviously, he's a good friend of mine, good friend of the show. And I mentioned before, this is the same scenario, right? Joe Girardi is Doc Rivers and Rob Thompson is Sam Cassell. I keep saying that. But I don't know if we're going to have a chance to see that storybook here because I think they're going to ride out Doc Rivers all year. I really do. I think they're going to ride out Doc Rivers all year. My man said, Greg, have a great. Oh, Greg, man, thanks for checking in, bro. I appreciate it. Be careful on those damn bikes too. I don't want to see you getting hurt out there, man. Rich says, look at the team with Celtics, Pierce, Garnett, Allen, all Hall of Famers, and a young Rajon Rondo. Right, 100%. Huge lineup in that team, Hall of Famers. And again, what does Pierce do? Like Coach Dante so eloquently stated earlier, gives the credit to Tibbs. Greg says Coach Carr is a mastermind. I hope they find that switch. He is, man. Yo, he's got it. My man Culture checking in says, I see that I once again have no reason to regret watching video game live streams on Twitch while Sixers games are on. Yo, I love it. You got to get a bell for that, Cauldron. I'm telling you, man, because it's so true. You might as well just stream on Twitch. Play some Duck Hunt or Frogger or Mario Kart, whatever the hell you play, or World of Warcraft. Or I have no idea because I don't game anymore. My kids game with Call of Duty and whatever the hell else they do, 2K, Mad, and all that. I remember the days of video games where I used to put a video game in. Look, baby, who remembers this? Blow inside, get it in that certain point, press it down on the Nintendo, boom, hit it. Maybe you got it, maybe you don't, and maybe it's pixelated, pull the cartridge out again, try to blow on it again, right? That's what I remember. Now it's like this entire novel that you have to read in stages, and I can't do it, man. I can't do it. Rich says, I've been saying Sam since last season. We got to give Sam. And now I got to bring my man Al up. Okay. And again, listen, everybody, Al's my man. Make sure you're following his page, the 2-Minute Warning, man. Al's very opinionated, especially follow him on Twitter. He's very opinionated, and I love it. He goes at everybody. Everybody goes at him. He just says what he feels, and that's what I love about him. And he is a positive guy when it comes to the Sixers. So hear him out here. And again, if you disagree, throw it in the comments, man. Tell them you don't agree. Tell them you do agree, whatever you want. But keep it respectful. This is a fun stream. I want to keep this lively, man, going back and forth because it's not just about Jigsaw here. It's about everybody. The judgment is for everybody. Al says, Tony, relax. They're not firing Doc. At least now, not during the season. Maybe after the season. It's all about how the season goes. But Al, let me ask you something now. Aren't you worried and concerned that you're going to let this drag on? We know how this is playing out, right? I mean, come on. We know how to. I can tell you right now, I can look at my crystal ball right now and tell you how this is playing out with no change. With no change. If you go and ride this out with no change, not only are you going to lose the team, okay, because they're going to check out. I'm telling you that right now. Joel Embiid will check out. Mark my words, if you continue to ride this ship. And then what's going to happen? Sam Cassell's going to go somewhere else and get picked up, and we are going to be sitting here and sulking for the next 3 years as we get some stiff up the SEPTA bus they throw in the head coach or some old-ass Mike D'Antoni that I want nothing to do with, or porno stash Mr. Stan Van Gundy comes out of the booth. I have no idea, but I don't want any of them. I want Sam Cassell. That's who I want. Can somebody get me Sam Cassell? That's who we need, and we cannot let him go. We cannot let him go. My man Tank says they had 21 games plus the playoffs to gel. Exactly. Because, and you know what Tank's talking about? Tank's talking about the Harden narrative. Okay? He's not talking about the bench pieces. Okay? Tank knows. Tank knows they were signed this year. He's talking about last year. Remember? We made the Harden trade, and what do we hear? They need time to gel. Oh, well, we're going to have a whole offseason. Right, Tank? We heard that. A whole offseason. We're good. Oh, we got this. We saw James shooting trays in the sweatpants. Everybody was laughing, having a good time, right? Yeah, it's all good. Country club. It's a country club down there, Doc runs, he says. Country club. What the hell? Because guess what? Hey, Tank, did you know? We can flip the switch whenever we want. We can just start playing like an all-star caliber team. No reason, though. It's unreal, man. Greg just hits the thumbs up. I did it, and I'm gone. Greg hit the thumbs up, and he's out. As always, man, my man Greg checking in. I really appreciate it. Al says we're 12 games in. Harden will be out till at least the end of the month. And again, Al, I don't understand why that's a problem. Okay. I heard multiple times. I've said it. You've said it. We all talked about Tyrese Maxey being a budding superstar. Tyrese don't even look right now. Right? He don't even look right. Can we please let Doc not mess up Tyrese Maxey? Okay. Because that's my fear too. That's my fear too. My man Eric checking in says PJ Tucker is old. Dude, he's so old. Like, I get his grit and all, but come on, man. Like, I like you guys are gonna have to help me out, man. So PJ Tucker plays 25 minutes tonight, 24 minutes. I'm sorry. I shorted him a minute on the back end. 24 minutes tonight. Here's the line for PJ Tucker: 3 rebounds, 3 points, and 1 block. What the hell is that? Is that what we signed up for? I'm just wondering. And I don't know about you, but somebody help me out, because it looks like to me that PJ Tucker has a little negativity in him out there. Okay. And is complaining an awful lot to his teammates on the court. An awful lot. He's crying all the time. Like, he's our Trae Young. No disrespect, Coach Dante, but Trae bitches a lot. And I feel like my man PJ is in the same boat. Coach Dante says Daniel House hasn't been good since he left the Houston Rockets. He's been from city to city. He hasn't. You're right. He hasn't. Eric says they're chasing a championship instead of building to a championship. You're right. That's a good point. I like that. I like that, man. I like that. My man Tank says, I want, all right, Tank, this is for Tank. We got to give Tank another bell ring. We'll give him a couple, man. You got to get that bell ring. Tank got that bell ring, man. He gets that bell ring. Javon says, Sixers were better off keeping Brett Brown. Well, here's what I will say, Javon. I want a Brett Brown guy, right? I wasn't. But what I will tell you is that dude, I mean, if Dougie P gets a statue, my man Brett Brown deserves a gold statue for being the face of a tank for so many seasons and consistently trying to make it sound good. I actually felt bad for Brett Brown. I did. Tank says, I have no idea what they're trying to do on offense. Like, the rotations are terrible. Or so here's what happens, right? My man Tank wants to go back old school, right? He wants to bring up. I remember I spoke back in the day, the old house, man. Me, my boy Tank, couple guys from work, they come in. And we got a little Madden tournament. My man Joe, not going to say his last name, he was butthurt because he couldn't even use a controller. And I know Tank's laughing right now. I'm lucky to throw the controller through my TV screen because dude got a temper over wall sconces. But Tank, no, he was hitting me with that damn Raiders Jerry Rice play, like all friggin' Tim Brown, Jerry Rice. Like, dude, it was like a go route for like 70 yards. He just throw it up and just catch it. It was like such a cheat code he had, and he was kicking my ass. I couldn't do nothing about it. So, you know what, Tank? I got to give you a bell for that. I'll give you a bell for smoking me mad. Rich says, so when do they go after? So when do they? After they get bounced in the second round and Sam gets a head coach job somewhere else? See, Al, Rich is echoing my same issue, right? He's my same issue, and that's the problem. Right? Al says Sam's not a Morey coach. And, I don't even care. I don't even care. That's a problem to me then. That's a problem. Javon says, please, exactly. Please don't bring D'Antoni here. We don't need the final piece for the Philadelphia Rockets. Exactly. First of all, ain't D'Antoni like 85 years old? Like, that dude's a little long in the tooth to still be coaching, ain't he? I'm just throwing it out there. I know LB, my man Larry Brown did it forever. But my man D'Antoni, come on, man. Let's not recycle that dude. Seriously. Al says, what is Tank talking about? This is a brand new team. We have, wait, hold on. Al, I'm going to go out. You said, what did you miss? Okay. Please, are you telling me, right? You're telling me that we need time to gel because we brought in PJ Tucker, DeAnthony Melton, Montrezl Harrell, and Daniel House. Are you kidding me? Right? Honestly, Oh, so again, a guy in Montrezl played 3 minutes tonight, which he should have played 15. He played 3 minutes again. I guess that's Doc Gel, right? Come on, dude. I love you, Al. I do, but I can't take this, right? If you need time to gel for those guys, for your bench pieces, then you shouldn't be a head coach on this team, right? You should. That's the easiest part of the puzzle. That's the easy part of the puzzle. I'll actually give him, like Tank said, 21 games. I'll actually give Doc the benefit of the doubt and say, yes, when you bring in a player like a James Harden, who is a bona fide super scorer, okay? Not anymore, but he was, okay? And a guy who, does he handle the ball? Do we want him to be a assist magnet, whatever it is? How do you fit him into that team? I'll give you that. I'll give you the 21 games, Doc. But that's what you got. You don't get 21 games for bench pieces. Are you kidding? No, I am not doing that. Javon says the first quarter of the regular season will tell you everything we need to know about this team. I'll tell you, I honestly think I know enough. I know enough. I do. He says PJ Tucker is giving you Thibault stat lines for exact. Please look, man, we got big. I'm just going to keep hitting it. Okay, PJ Tucker is giving you Thibault stat lines for 30 plus million. PJ Tucker is nobody right now. God. Coach Dante says the Cleveland Cavaliers have new play. Listen, Coach Dante, I love you. I love you. The Cleveland Cavaliers have new players. They don't need time to gel. The Boston Celtics have new players. The Utah Jazz have new players. The Atlanta Hawks have new players. So what is the excuse? Yes, everybody. You see it right there. What's the excuse? What's the excuse? We in Philadelphia always make an excuse, man. We always play a narrative all the time. We always play it, and I'm so goddamn sick of it. I am. Like, can we just go out and play the way we're supposed to play? I don't know how hard that is. But again, when you have a coach who's not in tune with this offensive set and being able to handle a proper rotation, no matter what he's wanted to pass or what he's done, you're going to have issues. Rich says, James was averaging 35 minutes before he got hurt, me and Harden. We were told they had a bench, so less time for the stars to keep them fresh for the playoffs. Instead, stars Harden and Embiid are averaging over 30-plus minutes. Another bell. Another great point. Another great point. Another great point to the show. Still trying to figure that out too, Rich. Still trying to figure it out. Coach Don says, nope, you're good. PJ Tucker did the same thing with us. See? Exactly. Same thing. That's what we got to look forward to. Al says, Maxey is the least of my worries. Again, I'm just a little worried, okay, that Doc is not going to ruin him. Just throwing it out there. My man Eric says Brown took a lot of shit from the fans. He did. Listen, Eric, huge point, man. I'm even going to give me and Eric don't always see eye to eye, but I'm gonna give Eric a bell because listen, that's a legit comment because he did. He was the face of a terrible organization and a terrible time, and he went through it with flying colors, man. Smiling it every day, like nobody pissed on his Cheerios, man. My man BB, he was slinging it every single day with a fly ass tie, with a smile on his face, preaching positivity all over. My man was on point, man. Good for you, BB. I have nothing but love for Brett Brown. I wasn't a big fan of his coaching style, but what I will say is for him to be able to truck it for so long in that environment, man, hats off. Eric says, Morey has been a flop. I'm sorry, he's overrated as a GM. I'll tell you what, Eric, I'm starting to feel that way. I am. I will tell you, like, football obviously is my sport. Baseball is my next. Basketball, my third. And what I mean by that is knowing the front office material around the league. And I'm not 100% in tune with all of his work. Obviously, I know what he did with Houston. Okay. But I thought, the way he was hyped up, from what he is right now, kind of falling short. Fellas, kind of falling short. Just throwing it out there. He's kind of falling short. Eric says the Bucks are like 10-0 and they're 10-1, Eric. Exactly. Right? I'm telling you, Eric, you came in a little late, but it's exactly what I've been saying. You have Utah 10-3. You have the Bucks at 10-1. Like Coach Dante said, you got the Celtics at 8-3. They got new faces, new players. They seem like they're doing okay. Eric says, I love Embiid, but we don't have a leader on this team. He's not a leader. I've been saying that for a long time, man. I completely agree with you. JoJo is not mature enough to be a leader on this team. He's not. He's not. And honestly, that quite honestly, it's probably the reason why they bring in PJ Tucker, whether we like it or not. We got rid of Simmons that were actually worse. I know it's crazy. Elton Brand. See, Javon says Elton Brand's been a better GM than Morey. I mean, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I don't. Listen, guys, I honestly, Eric says Celtics suspended their coach is still playing great. And going through all that adversity, Eric, too. All that adversity they're going through with all that bull, you know what? Okay, which I still think is way over the top. But anyway, whatever I feel doesn't matter. Okay, but they've dealt with a lot of adversity out there. New coach, interim coach, new players, and they're still winning. But here we are in Philadelphia, and we're still saying we got to gel. Well, everybody. Make sure that you're gelling with me here and you're gelling with the Final Judgment audience. Okay. Make sure you're following the Final Judgment right here. Make sure you're hitting the subscription button. Make sure you're hitting the notification bell. Okay. If you are on Facebook, if you're watching on Facebook, yes, we go live on Facebook. But if you would gladly go to YouTube and you go on there and subscribe, you guys will see there's a lot of different content. It's just these post-game shows. Okay. A lot of different interviews. Check them out with many different coaches, many different authors when it comes to sports, journalists, media members, you name it. Make sure you're checking it out. I greatly appreciate it. Tank says they haven't had a lead. Yeah, oh, Tank, I want to cry, man. I want to cry. You know, I love me some Jimmy Butler, man. Jimmy Buckets is my man. I'm still sad over Jimmy. I'm still sad over Jimmy. He was the dog, man. We said that he was the closer. Not only was a leader, he was the closer. He was the guy, and he did it multiple times. He was the guy with 5 seconds on the clock. You never had to think about, will he get a shot off? Will he be able to do it? No. Again, we miss Jimmy. I'm always gonna run back and regret that we don't have Jimmy Butler. I am. Coach says, outside of you guys starting 5, you guys don't have the depth. We thought we did. But again, seems like we don't. Either we don't have the depth or proper rotations. I don't know what the hell is going on. Doc is going through adversity. My man Rich says Doc is going through adversity on board at 1 a.m. Yeah, Doc, get it together, Doc. God, get it together. Al says, you guys have to relax. It's been 12 games. We can go on a 5-game winning streak and be a top 3 seed right now. I didn't want to hear that, man. You know what? That's so overrated, to be honest with you, because guess what, Al? I just want to tell you, okay? Honestly, and sorry I'm blinking a lot. My contacts are drying up. But we can go on a 5-game winning streak, yes. And you know what would happen? We're going to be the same damn team after those 5 games that we are right now. Inconsistent, drop back a little bit, and still have the problems. Let me roll my eyes for a minute. Contacts are drying up. So we would be the same exact team. The same, and that's my problem. That's my problem. My man Eric says, how often do you do it? Eric, I am. So here's what I will tell you. So the Final Judgment, the actual show, okay, is twice a week. Usually Mondays and Thursdays at 10 o'clock. The schedule got a little screwed up. We start doing post games for the World Series, which was great. So I kind of parlayed that into doing more post games for Sixers and for football. But honestly, there's content that pops up here every day. Live content, I would say 3-4 times a week. I try to go live, talking about many different topics, man. So please join in when you can. He says, we've been fed BS for the last 3 years. I agree, man. Coach says, PJ Tucker not giving you anything, just like he did in Houston. Daniel House is just out there. Anthony Melton is okay. George's not playing that many minutes. Exactly, man. I like the Anthony Melton. I do. But everybody else, man, giving me nothing right now. Giving me nothing. Absolutely nothing. Rich says, what has this team done to prove they can go on a 5-game win streak? That is true. That is true. What have they done? But I'm going to get out of here. This is the final judgment, man. This has been great. I want to come on here and honestly rant for about 20 minutes to get some love, to see if everybody's feeling what I'm feeling about going up against Fire and Doc Rivers and getting rid of all, get rid of this lifeless effort and trying to get Sam Cassell in here, man. My man Eric says you're going to talk. Yes, Phillies. I missed the Phillies. It's only been 5 days. Greatly appreciate that, Eric, because next week we are going to have a hot stove talk. Monday night is going to be the hot stove episode. Actually, no, Monday night is going to be the post game for the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay. Post game for the Philadelphia Eagles will be Monday night. Make sure you're tuning in for that. Eagles, Washington, even though I still have no issue thinking they're not going to win that game. But again, make sure you're tuning in for that. But yes, I will be live for some free agents talk. I'm greatly looking forward to that. I have a lot of players in my mind. I'd like to see them do some things. So next week we will be talking free agent hot stove. I'm trying to get an interview with maybe a beat reporter on as well. I do reach out and try to get those things from time to time. We insert them in the episodes, and it's pretty fun. So make sure you're checking us out for that. But as always, man, everybody checking in, greatly appreciate it. This is the final judgment. Make sure you're hitting the subscription bell. Make sure you're checking the notification button so you know when we go live. And if you're on Facebook, I greatly appreciate you following in. But if you could go on YouTube and do the same thing, be greatly appreciated as well. Trying to build this channel more and more every day. So like we say right here, yeah, yes, Eric, maybe Turner will be exactly. So we're going to talk hot stove, whether we sign somebody or not, and we'll break it all down. I want to kind of review the season a little bit, kind of like a Phillies look back. Okay, I got a nice highlight reel I'll play, and then we'll look at ahead into next year. So that's definitely on the horizon. I want to get everybody involved in that as well. But as always, man, like I say on the show, I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in. Everybody's been fantastic. Everybody's showing the love and the support. This is the final judgment. I am Tony Jigsaw. Make sure powered by Heat Ratio Sports, powered by Win Daily Sports, and as always, powered and sponsored by SEObrand.com, the place where all analytics begin. Some people have thoughts, some people have takes, but on this show, you get the final judgment.